Well, we're also hearing from members of the royal family on the former Prince Andrew's links to Jeffrey Epstein. The latest statement coming directly from Buckingham Palace on behalf of King Charles. It reads, quote, "The King has made clear in words and through unprecedented actions his profound concern at allegations which continue to come to light in respect of Mr. Mountbatten Windsor's conduct. While the specific claims in question are for Mr. Mountbatten Windsor to address, if we are approached by Thames Valley Police, we stand ready to support them, as you would expect." For more on this, I want to welcome Chris Shipp to the program. He is the royal editor for ITV News, and he is currently traveling with the royals on a trip to Saudi Arabia. So, Chris, welcome, and thank you for making some time for us today.
You're welcome. Good to be with you.
There are a number of things here that we'd like to get to, but I do want to start with that statement that the palace has now released on behalf of the king. What does that say to you about the royal family's approach right now to the Epstein narrative?
Hillary, it's hard to overestimate the significance of this statement from the palace. We're talking here about an official statement from a Buckingham Palace spokesperson talking about helping police. In this case, it's the Thames Valley Force. They're the police force that looks after the area that covers Windsor Castle in Berkshire in the UK, saying that we would help them were they to need our help in any of their inquiries. Basically, Thames Valley Police at the moment are looking into two potential crimes. Again, this is not a criminal investigation yet, but they're looking into these claims. One is about some new information that's come to light overnight about whether when Prince Andrew used to be an envoy, a business trade envoy for the UK, he leaked some confidential documents to Jeffrey Epstein, and the other surrounds claims again that Prince Andrew, as he was, trafficked girls to Windsor for sex in 2010. So we're looking here at some very, very serious allegations. And the fact that we've got a palace statement about a police inquiry, I mean, that's all you need to know about how serious this is.
And it's not the only statement that we've had from a member of the royal family today, because a little bit earlier on, we heard from an official for Kensington Palace speaking on behalf of the King's son, Prince William. And this is what he told reporters, saying that I can confirm the Prince and Princess have been deeply concerned by the continuing revelations. Their thoughts remain focused on the victims. What does it tell you that the person who is next in line to the throne is also feeling this need to come out and make a public statement?
What it tells us is that Prince William touched down this evening here in Riyadh for a very important visit, not just for him personally, but the UK government have sent him here as part of their priority to create better links with this particular country. And he's met tonight the Crown Prince, so the person that holds the same level as him, if you like, the heir to the throne of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. Not an uncontroversial character in himself, as I'm sure you've covered in various news reports over the years. But at the start of that, Kensington Palace wanted to put out a statement to say, look, William and Kate, the Prince and Princess of Wales's thoughts are with the victims, and they have been deeply concerned. They did that because they wanted to shut down the possibility that the Andrew story back in the UK was going to overshadow Prince William's very important visit here.
And these statements are quite a bit different than what we heard just a few days ago coming from Prince Edward, some comments that he made with regards to all of this last week. I'd like to play a little bit of that first, just so our audience knows the response that we're talking about here, and then I'll get your thoughts on it.
I'm not sure this is the audience that is probably the least bit interested in that. So they all came here to listen to about education solving the future. But no, I think it's all really important always to remember the victims and who are the victims in all this.
What do you make of the difference between all of these statements?
Surprisingly, I thought that Prince Edward, for anyone who needs a reminder, was the younger brother of King Charles and Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, was rather sort of caught off guard. Given he had a microphone hovering next to his mouth, you kind of thought that he should have been prepared for that kind of question. But I think it explains just how unusual it is for members of the royal family to be asked some very blunt questions about the serious allegations that have been made as a result of this dump of Epstein files by the US Department of Government last week. I mean, there are plenty of people who said, did Prince Edward do a good job of it? I think, you can make your own call, but I think he could have found some better words. And you do have to wonder what he meant by there are many victims. Was he just referring to the fact that there are so many victims we are learning about as part of this Epstein inquiry? Or did he mean that people like his brother and former sister-in-law Sarah Ferguson, they've been caught up in this, even though they are, as they maintain, guilty of no wrongdoing whatsoever?
And Chris, just finally here, what do you think the British public expect right now from the royal family in terms of a response to some of these new allegations surrounding Jeffrey Epstein and his ties to the former Prince Andrew?
There are two, significant parts of our constitution, if you like, that are going under significant pressure at the moment. There is questions around the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer's judgment over appointing a former ambassador to the United States over his links with Jeffrey Epstein. And Mr. Starmer's come under a lot of pressure over the last few days. And then there's the issue surrounding Prince Andrew, as he was known now, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. It's just not gone away. I mean, every single visit that the royal family do at the moment, then they are being asked questions about it. Some of those questions have come from journalists. Other questions, for example, there was one to the King today in the northwest of England. We think it came from a supporter of the campaign group Republic, as its name suggests, that they think that Britain should no longer have a monarchy. So therefore, you might say, well, their position is very clear. We haven't yet seen members of the public demanding that the King do more, because I think the view in the palace is that what more can the King do? He got rid of the Prince title. He got rid of his dukedom. He kicked him out of his house in Windsor. And the palace feel like the King has done everything he can do. But we go back then to the significant statement from the palace tonight about the police investigation. They're saying, look, we've done what we can, but if the police need our help in any way, we stand ready to give that help to them.
Chris, so great to have you on. Thank you for all your thoughts on this. We do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Chris Shipp is the ITV News Royal Editor.